Well, in 1972, I graduated from high school, and the 2 previous summers, I had worked for my dad on construction jobs, and I'd learned a lot, I thought. I always liked building things. I always liked seeing things completed. My daddy was a pusher. He was a World War II veteran. So with that, as I graduated high school, I went to work for a company in Jackson. Almost 5 years doing this, commercial type construction. Well, it come to a point in time that I kind of looked around and saw that I was sort of top of the ladder. I was a young superintendent doing little small jobs for this company, and I had gotten married in '74, and my wife Judy, and we had bought a piece of land, and we had bills like everyone of that day. Kind of stuck our necks out to buy this piece of property, and I had to pay for it. I had worked hard, built a business, had a good crew to do whatever type construction. All that time, I had this lady sitting beside me, my wife, Judy, and she was never critical of any of my bids, good, bad. It didn't matter. Mistakes I made, never critical, always positive. And that, standing beside me, is one of the things that made me so successful. Here comes my 20-year-old son, Josh.
I don't ever remember a time in my life when, construction wasn't a major factor. Tommy Thrash Construction Company started in 1977, which was 2 years before I was born. So, from day one, construction was just a huge part of my life.
Well, having seen other people working with their family, it's not always an easy task. And I'm sort of a get it done, make it happen type guy. And, I didn't know how hard it was going to be to, Josh being a grown man at that time, incorporating him into the business.
My grandfather had been in the construction field. My uncle had been in the construction field. Of course, my dad. So, my earliest memories are, being able to ride to jobs with him, even from the time I can remember being able to stand up on the pickup truck seat, back when that was legal. And, from him being out there actually working on a tractor, putting in dirt pads to, looking after his crews that were building houses, you name it, it was from day one. That's just been part of my life.
Well, finally one day he walks in to my office and says, "Dad, I want us to start doing a commercial." I told Josh, I said, "Well, let me think about it." Well, I didn't have no problem thinking about it. I was scared because I didn't want to do anything to jeopardize my relationship with my son. And here along comes Matt McWilliams. And Matt's a civil engineer, very smart. I think he's a great guy. He wants to be involved.
So I first met the Thrash family back in the mid-1990s when I was dating Tommy's niece, and got introduced to the family, and I had the opportunity to go to some of Tommy's job sites that he had going on with his construction company. And I was really impressed by how clean the job sites were, how organized they were, right in the middle of the construction process. It just was not something that you typically saw. And you could tell that the job sites were run very well, and very quickly and very organized. All of the effort, all of the labor was maximized. And so we set out on that path to repeat those work habits, to repeat those traits in the way that Josh and I wanted to produce the jobs that we were working on.
Well, there I kind of sit and I think, well, you know, this might not be such a bad deal. These two young guys got everything going, and maybe they'll float me along for a while, you know. Well, they did.
But one thing we struggled with in the early days was convincing people that we could do bigger jobs. We had the wherewithal, the financial, the workforce in place to do bigger jobs, and we knew we could do and handle bigger jobs, but nobody would ever give us a chance. So, you know, 01, 2, 3, 4, in those years, you know, we just struggled to get bigger work. And, you know, finally one day we realized that there was a whole nother market sector out there that we had not tapped into, and that was the public bid market. We've just been able to continue to build year after year on, you know, on bigger and better projects, it seems like.
Josh, he's a talker, he's an outdoor guy, he's a PR guy, and he does a very good job at that. Matt likes to read the plans and specs and take care of the business end in the office. So, you know, I always say they go together kind of like peanut butter and jelly. And that's what's made them successful, you know. They're opposite, but yet they complement each other. And that's what you got to have in a business.
And so we learned a lot from Tommy. We learned a lot from him about his work habits, his way of getting work done, producing a project, and we wanted to repeat that process as we moved along. He had a number of sayings that he would give to us from time to time. One of our favorites is, you have to kill can't and raise can, because if you can't get it, you can't stay. It took me a little while to figure it out, but I finally did, and really it's about the first part of that phrase. You have to have a can-do attitude in this business.
My favorite part of this whole deal in the construction business is actually probably not the building part of it. My favorite part of this is being able to be involved in putting a team together that can go out and do these projects successfully. That's something that I enjoy. I enjoy the people aspect of it, and it's just a great feeling when you have a big project, a tough project that people in the industry or around town think, well, there's no way they're going to get that done, and you're able to put together a team, and that team goes out and performs, and you know, it becomes a successful project for us.
I tried to treat people like I wanted to be treated, because I had been on both sides of the coin. I had been in the ditches, you know, in the mud, starting out, working for someone else. I knew how that was. So I knew how you need to treat people. And that's something they did. They started getting the people in place they needed and treating people good. And I reckon that's the gist of what made the business as successful as it's been. The main thing that I want to put forth is that the blessings that the Lord and my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, has put on this company have been unreal. Because, you know, for a guy like me at 18 years old to start out like I did and bring it to this point, I just helped bring it to this point. It took a lot of good people. But that's unreal to me. I mean, it just really humbles me to be associated with a company like Josh and Matt have finished creating, and I really appreciate and love them both.